Rastogi with the primary objective of working with endangered languages and indigenous communities to do what we can for the disappearing tongues. The primary objective of CEL is to work towards maintenance and revitalization of lesser known and endangered language, detailing a language, documenting its sounds, words, proverbs, and making physical and virtual dictionaries to preparing relevant teaching materials to be used in state school classrooms. We believe in revitalizing a language through its people and their culture, so we work with the community to develop sustainable methods of income rooted in their folk art, culture, and traditional knowledge as well. We also work with the younger generation of speakers to create a positive language attitude and inculcate interest in their native roots. So, in short, we describe, document, and revitalize. CEL offers membership to linguists, language enthusiasts, and community members in the country. Our yearly membership is for 1000 rupees only. If you become a member for 2 years, you get a 500 rupee discount and pay just 1500. And for 5000 rupees, you can become a lifetime member of CEL. For your contribution, you get a registration fee waiver at CEL's annual Endangered and Lesser Known Languages Conference, a chance to publish your work in our peer-reviewed, bilingual, biannual e-journal, Vakmanthan, free registration for workshops and trainings conducted by CEL during the year, and priceless networking opportunity with some of the best experts in the fields of linguistics. We would definitely encourage you to become members of CEL. Together, let's make a difference. For details on how to become a member, please visit CEL's website www.celindia.org.
Over to you, Madhuri.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I thought you were going to speak a little bit about it also, but it's. But I think the video summarizes the work that CEL does, and thank you very much as a president, or as the president of Society for Endangered and Lesser Known Languages, for supporting the department, which you are also the head of. Thank you very much. Now I would like to move on to welcoming our honored speaker for today, Dr. Abhinav Kumar Mishra. As Professor Sri Kumar has already told all of you present here, that he is an associate professor at the Department of Linguistics in Banaras Hindu University, and he has an extremely illustrious CV, let me tell you. He has worked in so many different countries, in so many different projects, and in so many different capacities that is actually very difficult for me to summarize all of that in a very short time, but still I would like to try. Dr. Mishra has been, he has supervised a number of students, both masters and PhD, in completing their dissertations. He has worked in China. He has worked in Moscow. He hasn't worked in Moscow. He is going to work in Moscow. He has his sights set on Russia this time. And had it not been for the COVID period, he probably would have been already in Russia working on his proposed program, the Indian Languages and Literature National Research University Higher School of Economics in Moscow. And he has also been awarded with several prestigious fellowships, one of which is the most prestigious Commonwealth Academic Fellowship, with which he was awarded in 2014. And he has been a visiting researcher at CFL Aston University in Birmingham, the UK, for 1 semester. He's also the member of a global expert panel of forensic linguistics of Government of China, and has conducted workshops on forensic linguistics as a member of the global expert panel for the Chinese Police Academy. So all the good work that he has done, we definitely hope to take a piece of that with us after your lecture here today, sir. Welcome. I would like to extend a very warm welcome on behalf of the Department of Linguistics to our very honored guest here today, Dr. Abhinav Kumar Mishra, Associate Professor at the Department of Linguistics in Banaras University. Sir, over to you. We are very excited to have the glimpses of forensic linguistics as delivered by you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madhuri. Thank you, Kavita ma'am and Sri Kumar sir and all the participants. First of all, let me congratulate you on your centenary celebration of your university. It is indeed a you can say remarkable and milestone in the life of a university as well as in the academic world. 4 years back, we too also celebrated the centenary of our university, Banaras Hindu University. Uh, it's really, I'm very much privileged to have a talk with you people, and thank you, Kavita ma'am, and all the participants for inviting me to have a lecture with all of you, or my sharing my experience in forensic linguistics. Now, without delay, I would like to come to our main presentation, so that uh, it would be rather better for all of us. Just okay. So, is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what the topic we mutually agreed that this would be, since forensic linguistics is something, a starting point in university, and though I have been engaged for a quite long time, but for the new researchers in this field, it's a new one. So let me start. What comes to our mind when we say forensic? The thing is, when we say forensic, just a minute, ma'am. I do need to see it. So okay, what comes to our mind with the word forensic? If I am very much like an educated layman, if we say that, educated layman, I mean to say belonging to our academia, then that there comes some sort of crime scene, then expert collecting evidences after an incident, then you can say the post-mortem done by uh, a doctors team of doctors. Recently we had heard of so many SSR case and all these things. So all sorts of, and forensic science lab where forensic experts are doing some sort of job. So mostly, if when the word forensic comes to your mind, to our mind rather, we come to have rather forensic medicine part, means forensic medicine people are involved, experts from forensic medicine people are involved, as well as some police personnel. This is what the forensic linguistics is all about. And uh, if I go something in detail, in further details, like on the television, we have daily soap like FIR. Sorry, this is one in which Daya and Saluke, all these people are there. That is CID. That is CID. So CID or Savdhan India and all these things that we go ahead. So these things come to our mind, but mostly forensic medicine people and police personnel. Now, how come linguistics encroached their field? That is important. Now, if you say forensic science is an umbrella term, forensic science in itself is nothing. It's a combination of all the fields. So most simply, if you say linguistics, if you discard psycholinguistics, all these applied branches, then the domain of linguistics will be a very you can say tiny one. It's not the biggest one. So in the similar fashion, forensic science is an umbrella term, and it has more than 20 plus disciplines. Like forerunner is forensic medicine, forensic physics, forensic chemistry, forensic law, forensic psychology, forensic engineering, forensic uh, archaeology, forensic linguistics. So all these things are there. I have just named a few only. There are several others. So forensic linguistics is one of the fields. So what is so special about forensic linguistics? I'll come to that. The forensic science generally comes after an incident. This is much more important. The nature of forensic science says the incident must take place and after that investigation starts. The incident can be a criminal like murder, suicide, kidnapping, all these things. So the all bomb blasts, riots, and sources can be anything. Like sources can be authenticity of an audio, video, text, or printed written text, like a suicide note, a threatening letter, an anonymous text, a wireless interception, an email, an SMS, a social media text on WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Messenger, all these things, social media text. Now, when we say all these things, then there arise some question, means okay, after the incident, definitely the incident can be a civil also, like it can be a case of plagiarism, it can be a case of copyright issue, power of attorney, whether it is how to infer it. So it's a domain is something both criminal as well as in civil cases. At the same time, you can say language and the law it's also. So how to infer the law in its spirit, in its written form. Most of the forensic science disciplines come into the picture or action after an incident actually take place. So if you look at, or if you have uh, the history of forensic science, you can see that it is only after the, means post, in other words, they work post incident. Now there should be something, if a science had something which is not only helpful in investigation but also in prevention, then it would have been even real science, you can say, because prevention is better than cure, we come to know. So let us talk some features of forensic linguistics. No crime is possible without the use of language, is it? Can we conduct any crime, can we commit any crime without the use of language? The crime can be before the incident, the language, the use of language can be before the incident, post incident, or during the incident. So any form of language can be used, like it can be spoken, it can be written, it can be sign, symbol, anything. So we can use any type of language, and at any point of the crime. So since we deal with language, as we all are concerned with linguistics, so we know that linguistics is dealing with language. So wherever there is crime, there is language. Wherever there is language, there is linguistics in general and forensic linguistics in particular. So we have both the things. Means whenever you commit a crime, crime is not possible without language at any period of time, before a period or point of time. So whenever we use language, that falls in the domain of linguistics in general and forensic linguistics in particular. Use of language evidence in legal and forensic context. Evidence from linguistics used for purpose of law. So forensic linguistics has two parts. One, dealing with crime. Crime can be a criminal as well as civil, and the other part is its a legal part, like in the field of law court, right? So what is unique about forensic linguistics? Forensic linguistics work both pre and post incident. That's the most beautiful, you can say, aspect of forensic linguistics in the forensic science. If you talk about other subdisciplines, most of the subdisciplines come after the incident, except one more, that is forensic psychology. In other words, it helps not only in the crime investigation, but also in crime prevention. It is the application of linguistic knowledge. This is very important. Means application of linguistic knowledge, insight, and methods of forensic context of law, language, crime, investigation, trial, and judicial procedure. So, if you think of forensic linguistics, means you have to have a prerequisite sort of thing. So what is linguistic insight? Means unless you are a good linguist theoretically, so there are something we are presupposing if you want to be a good forensic linguist. Means you must be having good command on phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics, all these six theoretical branches, and some applied branches as well. Like you must have good command on typology, psycholinguistics, and not not sure, you can say not so much sure about other branches, but yes, sociolinguistics. You must have an good command on um, nowadays on computational linguistics also. So all these applied branches as well as on the theoretical branches, if you are not uh, having a good command, for example, let us, how come phonology? So when you work on forensic linguistic data, then your cases can be shared with international partner also, or with the partners overseas also. So in that case, you are having a q text, questionable text. So how can you share with them? You cannot speak. They might be having different accent, tone, pitch, and all these things. They might not be familiar with a tribal, regional, or dialect of the q text. So you must have a mastery on transcription, both emic and etic, both phonemic and phonetic, both, so that you can share your text with your international counterpart and you can get the means opinion from them. Similarly, recent 2 years back, uh, in US, one of my colleagues was working on a case involving Indian diaspora, and they were working on the crime social media context, some issues, and they were investigating it as Gujarati while it was in Punjabi. Huh? So just uh, SSR. The first word was SSR, and they got stuck. What is this SSR? So they texted me, "What is this SSR in Gujarati?" I applied my mind everywhere, but I didn't get an SSR in Gujarati. Then I said, okay, what can you substantiate me with some more data? And when I got the data, it was in Gujarati, so sorry, Punjabi, and it means Sat Sri Akal. Hmm. SSA, sorry, not R. So you must be having a full confidence and full command on theoretical and at least chief branches of applied linguistics. In a nutshell, it can be used to apply to any interface between language and the law, language and the crime, and language, sorry, uh, language and the investigating agencies. When, just a minute, how can I? How? Let us see it. How do we do? Um, These are some of the chief areas on which we work upon. First is voice speaker identification, SID. That is, we say SID means who is the speaker. This is, in other words, this is also called forensic phonetics. The second is author identification, who wrote a particular text. The third one is discourse analysis. The fourth one is forensic dialectology. Then we are also having an extra task of training police personnel. Then civil and criminal cases. Civil and criminal cases, not just in the investigating part, but at the court also. So training of police personnel means when you call on 100 number in an SOS situation, so definitely you are having a very limited time, and you might not be able to speak the full length. So the person sitting on the other side must respond to you with precise perfection. That is important. So how come it needs proper training, proper training of the police personnel? So with the help of uh, Bureau of Police Research and Development Organization and other institutions, we conduct police training for higher police personnel and other paramilitary forces, so that they can respond to the not only 100 number, but some other people threatening call or something like that also. So we have this added task also for the social, you can say, social phenomena, you can say. So if you say, generally we have linguistics has two branch, theoretical and applied. But in applied also you have, some are having practical, some are having urgent branch. So urgent branch means you have to react in a given number of time, in a given period of time. So because if it happens, uh, you can say, uh, pre-incident, then you have limited time and you need to react. Suppose if there is a wireless interception and it needs to be decoded, so it will come to you. Maybe it definitely they will try their level best, investigating agency, to decode it. If they are unable to get it, then it will come to you. It will come to you to decodify. So you have limited number of time, limited period of time. Suppose if some VIP movement or something like there is there, so there is a threat, Naxal threat or something sort of indigenous threat, you can say, or you can say a specific threat in a better manner. So you need to respond. Who is the person? Who is the author of this voice? What could be his or her mother tongue? How to give the lead to the police personnel? So your responsibilities get multifolded, and that too because the agencies are looking at you with some expectation. So you should be very much particular in giving them some sort of lead. So this field accounts for lots of accountability also. So we cannot deny our accountability. So we have to go ahead with lots of precision, lots of accuracy. Then, now let us come to voice speaker identification. That is something forensic phonetics. 80% of all cases involve SID, speaker identification. Means how to, who, for us, anything is text. So text does not mean for us whatever is written on plain paper with the help of pen. We have several, we have audio text, we have video text, all these things come to a text. So how come a text becomes a q text, means questionable text? So suppose right now I'm speaking to you with you, and suppose if I WhatsApp, I texted you something, but if that text is, and a crime takes place over there at that point of time, at with you or with me, then the police personnel will come to us. Okay, at the time of incident, who was with the chat? So the normal chat becomes a forensic text. So determining whether the voice of, so in phonetics, in speaker identification, what do? We determine whether the voice on a threatening record, that is of the defendant or not. Anatomical differences means these things that we have, do what sort of gender is there, what sort of racial difference is there, voice is there, what is the intonation of this speech, then what is the linguistic background of this q text, what could be the speaker's social background. All these things we have to take it out, and that requires lots of training in linguistics as well as in forensic linguistics. So far, It's not something like that this field has erupted all out of vacuum. This field has erupted. First of all, you can say the forensic physics people, physics expert used to take care of this thing, forensic linguistic part also. They didn't know that this is forensic linguistics, but their uh, their expertise, their analysis, most of the time were getting out of fashion and in totally inaccurate. Why? Because when you are having a voice parade, means if you have a parade of the suspected people, and definitely if I have committed the crime, I will try to uh, I, certain amount of observers paradox will be involved. At the same time, I will try to disguise myself. Definitely I'll be very much conscious. At the same time, uh, I can mimic also. So on judging a particular person's voice on a spectrogram, never or means seldom gives you the accurate result of the known one. And what about uh, in an anonymous text, anonymous audio or video text? In that case, for forensics physics people, they didn't have any answer. So it is up to the sub. If you are doing typology, you might be able to tell. If you are doing sociolinguistics, you will be able to tell that these are the things, because you have a background, you know how to classify languages, you know how, which language does it belong to. Or even if you don't know, uh, even if you don't know, you can create with the help of typology, you can create with the help of sociolinguistics. So determining who wrote a particular text, like suicide note, threatening note, ransom demand, sometimes given the known samples and sometimes from the unknown. So it is very difficult for the physics people to give the lead in case of unknown sample. So far we are having different um, mm, mostly in the case of politician, they give their speech and then they say this is not my voice on the record. So they check for the IP address and some sort of editing and all these things. And finally, uh, it is very difficult for them whether it is the speaker is included or not, this speaker is excluded or not. So we have to establish all these things through linguistics, through forensic linguistics, whether the person involved is there or not. Suppose yeah, you might have in the newspaper you might have read, or in the news items you must have read, a particular guy raped his girlfriend with the help of her with the help of his friends. Now how to judge this? Because the guy was there with in a friendly atmosphere with his girlfriend. Now whether the person is was included in that audio text or not, or video text or not, whether he was forcibly present over there by the miscreants. So how to include, whether can this physics people will do? No. So it is for us to make it very much uh, is establish. We need to establish whether the person is actually there with consent or not. So determining evidence, now authorship analysis, evidence of mode of production, transcribed from spoken, handwritten, word process, dictated, determining age, gender, religion, handedness, all these things you can easily do if you are doing forensic linguistics. Determining the number of people, how many people wrote this text. Sometimes it also happens that a text is written by 2 3 people. So how to establish this fact? What kind of person wrote this text? Was that a lunatic person, or something like a normal person, or is it a female, is it a male? All these things can be there with the help, can be established with the help of forensic linguist. So we can establish the age, gender, physique, state of health, ethnicity, religion, social status, education, occupation, geographical origin, affective states, all these things, whether the person was in intoxication during the crime or not, all these things can easily be established. Then how do we do all these things? We are doing sociolinguistic profiling, we are doing psycholinguistic profiling. In sociolinguistic profiling, we always look for register, dialect, what is the linguistic competence of the person, native language, idiolect, spelling pattern, spelling errors, use of modules, and orthography. All these things since it is just 1 hour presentation, otherwise I would have gone to all these things one by one. I'll come to some of these. Hmm. Then I have taken the legal text. The legal text, the study of legal text. Recently, uh, even I went to Lucknow before this lockdown, in which there is a case. The case is, uh, if I can show you the case, uh, just a minute, how to minimize. Let Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, this is what I have got. This is WhatsApp chat. You'll be surprised to see the
One
quote.
second. So the WhatsApp chat is not visible. What I can see right now is your presentation.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm showing you the WhatsApp chat also. It's not chat, the documents, right?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, this is the document. Now, this is the appointment of
One second.
district judge.
Again, you have to when you're sharing it, then you have to go to share screen again, and then select the window which you are which you want to
Okay,
show us.
okay,
Currently,
okay,
we can
okay.
only see the presentation.
Right, right. Is it visible?
Yes, now it's visible, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now, this is what the appointment about the district judge. Now, can you imagine that this has become problematic? Appointment of district judge, appointment of persons to be, and the posting of promotion of district judge in any state shall be made by the governor of the state in consultation with the high court. A person not already in the service. Look at the point number 2. A person not already in the service of the union of the state shall only be eligible to be appointed a district judge if he has been for not less than 7 years an advocate or pleader and is recommended by the high court for appointment. Means this point number 2, all the sub judges, means the uh, sub judge you must have heard of in the law court, district court, they are not eligible to become the district judge rather, that we call in Hindi Jila judge. How come? Because means in the similar fashion, you can say you can be an assistant professor, you can be an associate professor, you can be a professor, but you can never be an HOD, because the HOD must come from the outside, a person who is a. So this is what their problem was. Now, let me come to my presentation. Mm, it was. Where was that? I'm not so friendly about this. Just a minute. This is not. Okay, sorry for the technical error. So we have to solve some constitutional cases also, that what could be its interference from the semantic point of view, whether someone is included, sub judges are included in the promotion or not, or are whether our constitution exclude them. This is something uh, some this is something they are concerned, and this matter is still under court's jurisdiction in the Delhi High Court, and it is still progressing. I have given my opinion also. uh, Let us take, you can say that, sir, all these things are done by, suppose if you have a text, and that is something like q text, questionable text. So far it is being done by, uh, you can say, the handwriting expert also. So what is the difference? Can we say the forensic linguists are handwriting experts? No. A handwriting expert can only give her or his opinion on the basis of a handwritten Q text. Handwritten. But suppose if someone is taken on gunpoint and then made to write a suicide note, or by mistake, or in a friendly situation, or intentionally or strategically. So suppose uh, I I told the whole of the audience, my audience, since it is a friendly situation, let us write a suicide note. I made you write, all of you to write a suicide note, and then one by one I'm killing all of you, and it seems like that it is committed suicide. Then suppose if I take you on gunpoint, and then or if you're known ones on gunpoint, and then made you to commit suicide, then who will be able to judge this? What about writings the same on social media or digital media? So there is no as such, you can say, uh, writing. There is no as such orthographic writing. So how to discriminate? Then it, in other words, you can say, the handwriting experts usability is there, but not 100%. They are now getting obsolete in the global digital media. So how come all these places they cannot make a difference between an implanted, forced, and fake or genuine suicide note written on social media or digital media or an email? So they are limited just to the handwriting only, and that also through an obsolete method of, you can say, presentation. So we how do we do all these things? How are we different from them? It is something that, let us take their point of view. In this, we conducted a research on linguistic orthography. That's a part of our one of our PhD thesis. Sri Kumar sir checked this thesis. Maybe no, maybe he is known to this. We collected 165 participants. So we got around, you can say, we worked on 200 suicide notes. But before 200, working on 200 suicide notes, we had a very much a big question: how to discriminate on the fake, genuine, forced, and all these suicide notes. So what we did, we conducted, in order to discriminate between the genuine one and the fake one. So we conducted a research, a survey sort of thing. You can just have a look. Orthographic representation. Now you just see the letter R is represented in two ways. Now you can go for your writing, you can look for which way you write your R. Is this one? Male generally write this one, female generally write this one. But it never means that males do not write this one or females do not write this one. But what is the percentage? If you look at the percentage, it's very much clear. Then you can just have a look at the T. See, the female goes mostly with this, male goes mostly with this. Now look at the F, two ways of representation. Males generally go with this, females generally go with this. S with simple S and with a cut mark. Here you have lots of possibility that male and female are having the same scenario almost. So what we in orthography also, we had to take certain very you can say linguistically loaded, orthographically linguistically loaded symbols from the alphabetic from the letters. And see B, look at the B, females generally write this one. Now look at the L, the cursive one generally goes with female. Now some numerals also, look at the 4. There are two ways of representation of 4 also. So this one 4, if it is there, the number goes with males and females. Then 7 with a cut mark. Generally, you see 7 both male and female, and here males go with this and female go with this. Now, what does this show? This show one thing is we have a clear pattern of orthography. Now, on the basis of this, you can have, because your research is a limited period of time, so we found 105 suicide notes with our parameters, means for research purposes, the genuine one. There are certain suicide notes which were still under jurisdiction of court, but anyhow we got the Xerox copy of that, and we made it possible to have a first hand, you can say, decodifying or classifying all these things in order to have a fake and genuine one. Then we developed these 16 parameters. 16 parameters, that how many words are there? Do we find some idiosyncratic properties? What is the salutation? Addressing, does it bear any signature? What are the number of pronominals? Is it the occurrence of first person, second person, or third person? Then the cases, which case is higher, nominative, ergative, or genitive, possessive? Number of prodrop, how many times in first person, second person, and third person? Then morphology, grammatical category, which grammatical relative pronoun, relative correlative is also, types of sentence, statement, imperative, self-proclamation is there or not, guilt consciousness is there or not, blaming of suicide is there or not, proposition is there or not, and negation is there or not. All 16 parameters we worked upon, and all 16 parameters we worked upon, and then we did a statistical representation of that, and we come to this conclusion. Genuine suicide letters are short and mostly written in less than 300 words. But when we say 300 words, don't make it a litmus point that if a suicide note goes more than 300 words, you can say that this is the fake one. No, this is not. But an average suicide note should not go beyond 300 words, because it is written a message created in a borderline situation shortly before death. A suicide letter is emotional outburst, and when all the possibilities, and when you are full of sadness, can manifest in your, everything can be manifested in the letter. A suicide letter is brief, concise, and highly propositional. Yet there seem to be a degree of evasiveness. Now, if you talk about all the 16 parameters that we have, uh, go ahead with, we adopted. Number of words I have shown you. Idiosyncratic properties means whether do you use your idiosyncratic properties in the suicide notes. Yes, if I tend to use my idiosyncratic properties, you might have seen some people write uh, on the top Jama Sarde, Om, or Satso 786, and all these things before writing anything important. So whether idiosyncratic properties are there or not, salutation is there or not. So all these things you have to take care of, 16 parameters. And we came upon with certain findings that gives uh, a credible answer that these should be the properties of a credible suicide note. And this research is quite acclaimed also, internationally also. So these are the findings. I won't go in the details. Let us have this I was doing Sri Devi's murder case. I will say, I should not say murder case, but I will look at, uh, I'll show you this I worked upon. Um, what we got from, she died in Dubai. Do you know or not? Yes. So we got only two words: accidental drowning, if you remember. So accidental drowning, what is this? The one is adjective, the other is noun. So drowning due to accident, drowning after accident, right? So if drowning takes place, do you remember where did she die? She died in her bathtub, in the hotel's bathtub. So accident can take place by your own fault. Accident can take place by someone else's fault. So when someone else's fault is there, then is it intentionally or unintentionally? This is something very much required. Now, if you look at the scenario that has gone ahead, hmm, was that forced drowning? Because a bathtub or jacuzzi cannot be more than 3 or 4 foot, 4 feet higher. So how come a well-grown actress died in that? Because if you look at the her, um, in Dubai still is an international, you can say, tourist hub. So she didn't have any heart attack. This was the post-mortem report. There was no heart attack. There was no brain hemorrhage, no overdose of medication, no physical assault. Death of a big Bollywood actress like Sridevi could have affected Dubai's tourism adversely, which may have consequently affected bilateral relations between India and Dubai quite adversely. So the investigating agency of Dubai, with the help of their team of doctors, the dean invented, they sorry. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible and my screen is being shown to you?
Sir, currently we can see the presentation screen, and you are audible perfectly, sir.
Uh, is my presentation coming?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. Hmm. Okay, so how to resume F5. Just a minute. Okay, so she had all these things. She didn't have any of these things, but she died. So the investigating agencies of Dubai, with the help of their team of doctors, coined a new term, accidental drowning, which has never occurred in any post-mortem report till date. So accident can take place with your own fault, with someone else's fault. So what was that intentional? No post-mortem of Sridevi took place in India. You must have remembered her corpse came and the funeral process started. The things should have been examined, forensic linguistic analysis of her call details, social media status, WhatsApp chat, text and SMS messenger chat, Facebook, on all these things. Then her CCTV footage, interrogation of Keith and Kim, but nothing took place. And the tool of misery became a linguistic term, that is accidental drowning. And don't you see a better relationship with Dubai after that incident? Our Prime Minister has got the Best Citizen Award of Dubai. Some sort, we had, you can say, a temple also opened at. I'm not blaming someone, but just look for how media uh, ignored all these facts, that uh, how come such a case should be ignored if political pressure is there. Now I have shown you 2 3 cases. Now we can have some legal cases also. You must be having Nirvaya laws. You must have heard of that, was passed in 2013, and these are some sections of Nirvaya laws that says, means a forensic linguist job is not just confined to you can say crime investigation and prevention, but also to the inference of the law. And now you see, any man who watches or captures or circulate the image of a woman engaging in a private act in circumstance where she would usually have the expectation of not being observed either by the disseminate such image shall be punished on first conviction with imprisonment of either description. No, I don't want to go ahead in this. The thing is, in 2018, we made it happen, and this one was amended in the parliament. Any man. Now, if you say that this is natural justice, that man is used for female also. So why not to use female, any woman?
लौट के आते हैं, हम देख रहे हैं उनके, मेरे ख्याल से कुछ इंटरनेट इशू हो गया ना मैम, ऐसा लग रहा है मधुरिमा मैम।
Yes.
उनका कुछ आवाज नहीं आ रही मैम, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी, आप म्यूट हैं मैम, आप म्यूट हैं।
जवाब हम मांगेंगे हिंदुस्तान से जवाब। सवाल संडे कीर्तन हो रहा है शाम के टाइम में, पहले समोसे पकौड़े खाने चाहिए थे। 3-3 लेना।
अब अनम्यूट हुआ है, लग रहा है जी जी इंटरनेट इशू आ गया है सबका। तो हम लोग अपना टाइम टेबल अपने डिपार्टमेंटल पे डालेंगे। जी जी सर, आपका कुछ उसका लिंक भी हम लोग उसमें शो करेंगे आप लोगों को, और उस लिंक से आपको कनेक्ट होना है। सर इंडियन हम रिमूव कर देते हैं, किसी को आप ऐड कर दीजिए 1 मिनट में, हम रिमूव कर रहे हैं।
यूनिवर्सिटी ने उनको दिया है राइट उनको बनाया है प्रोफेसर और हेड, तो वो जवाब मांग नहीं सकते।
Hello. Hello. Hello.
जी, हाँ, please go ahead. Abhinav ji?
Yeah, ma'am, there was some issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Has it
Yeah.
been sorted out?
Sorry for
or
disruption.
be
Please go ahead.
honors or
Okay, okay. So, am I visible and my screen is visible to all of you?
क्या होगा BA
Yes, sir. The language of law.
Yeah, you are audible also, and your screen is there.
Okay. So, this is something Nirbhaya law which has been passed in 2013, and you can see just on the top of the corner any man. So this all these things can be propagated, they can be done by a woman also. There is no so we made it for we wrote it when we simplified this law, because you can see even after the passing of 2000 Nirbhaya law in 2013, there is no decrease in the rape cases in India. Rather, it has even increased. Why? If there is some stringent law, why not it has been decreased? The reason is, when people go first of all, it is not, people are not aware of the consequences of sexual harassment. First thing. The second thing, there is some there when it comes to writing of the law in paper in the Gazette of India, then you will find that there are certain loopholes, and those loopholes are linguistic loopholes, which the advocates, the barristers, when they come to the court, they give the evidence as law, that any man who watches or captures or circulates the image of a woman engaging in a private act in circumstance where she would usually have an expectation of not being observed either by her preparator or by any other person at the behest of the preparator, or disseminates such image, shall be punished for on first conviction with the imprisonment, either description for a term which shall not be less than 1 year. So, which means 1 year representation. But do you know, we have video also. We have image does not mean just the image which is uh, written on the piece of paper. So there are certain loopholes. Now, there is no mention of child sexual abuse. There is no mention of a case like you must have heard of Baba Ram Rahim and her allies Parmeet Kaur or something like that. She was the main person who used to lure people to come to her ashram. So when that is why when people go to the court, then the barristers make them win the case. The second thing of the same law, you can see a man, linguistic simplification and effectiveness, a man committing any of the following acts: physical contact, this is at the workplace, and advances involving unwelcome and explicit sexual overtures, a demand for sexual favors, showing pornography against the will of a woman, and fourth one, making sexually colored remarks. See, these are the four situations, out of which for the two, any man who commits the offense specified in clause 1 or clause 2 or clause 3, 1, 2, 3, then shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine, or with both. Now, see the third point. Any man who commits the offense specified in clause 4, that is, making sexually colored remarks. This is very much in fashion, means mostly the fourth one happens in a day-to-day life. Then shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 1 year, or with fine, or with both. So suppose if I commit the crime that is described in number 4, then what the police personnel will do, if I'm such a influential person, then what the police personnel will come, he will take me to the in his vehicle to take me to the police custody, and at 11:59 the p.m. 11:59 p.m. uh, to the police custody, and to 12:01 a.m. they will release me, offer me a cup of coffee, because there is no minimum punishment. You just look at any man who commits the offense specified in the clause 4 of subsection 1 shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 1 year. So 1 year is what? That is the maximum, or with fine. What is the minimum punishment? There is no mention of minimum punishment. That is why when such eve teasing cases are being reported to the police, such action, okay, I take police say that okay, the culprits go to the police station and they come with the flying colors because of this lacuna. So one aspect of forensic linguistics is not just having uh, the investigation of the criminal cases, but also supporting the law. At the time of law framing, there must be a forensic linguist. Now, if we talk about how, what are our limitations? An expert's opinion is admissible to furnish the court with information which is likely to be outside the experience and knowledge of a judge. So the judge may invite us for uh, giving linguistic opinion, but one thing is there: our opinion is not binding on them. If on the proven facts a judge can form their own conclusion without help, then the opinion of an expert is unnecessary. The fact that an expert witness has impressive qualification does not by that fact alone make the opinion. How great you are a forensic linguist is immaterial. It is something anyone can do mistake, so it is your opinion only. Hmm. The next thing, sorry. Mm. So forensic linguistics, rather it would have been gone in the very first slides also. It has been growing in prominence. The UK, the pioneer of forensic linguistics, substantial R&D are being done in the USA, Europe, Australia, and even in China in discourse analysis and in the law courts. Forensic linguists are outsourced by the courts, by the police, by the investigating agencies. Apart from Apart from assisting in case investigation, forensic linguists are also involved in forest interviewing and all these things to help the court in civil cases. Mm. These are some of the things which we are going ahead. If you, since the time does not permit, if you tell me, then I will go for some procedural methods that we adopt in the speaker identification, or something like that. But that should be time taking. So we have lots of cases, and we can work upon. I just want to demonstrate one more case, like you just have a look of. This is the live case that we did in, we gave our opinion to civil case, and the civil case had uh, so many things, whether a particular piece of work is done by the same person or not. And this is our conclusion. The conclusion gave is, uh, we identified three authors: author A, who is highly probable to use code mixing, and the fact that he uses Pokhara and all these things. Author B is highly probable in use of sh in a space of sir. Author C is highly probable to make careless, silly mistakes, which is mostly punctuation and typing errors. Because we have to give the examples also, substantiate also the thing with. Uh, Let me. Okay. Tell me anything else you want to know, because so far forensic linguistics we are dealing with case by case, and we are quite successful in implementing forensic linguistics. Uh, we have tried. We are planning to open a forensic science linguistics center. Uh, Corpus creation. If we are getting the hands of computational linguistics, we will be able to work much large at a very larger stage. Because in the 11th hour, what happens? A sociolinguistic variables we get, but we don't have corpus prepared. So at least the corpus from the chief languages should be there, so that in the UK it is there, in the US it is there. See, they have just one prominent language, that is English or German or Mandarin, but we have so many languages. So how much corpus, interactive corpus do we need? So it is not just that I can do all the work. It is the combination of all of us who can make forensic linguistics 100% success. Because I need the help of psycholinguistics, I need the help of sociolinguists, need the help of. So everybody should sit together on at least once in a month. We float the case. That is what we used to we deal with. We deal with our for any case that comes to us, we first discuss with our colleagues and with our students, and then form a general opinion, general systematic scientific opinion, and then we go take in for you can say opinions from the other subdisciplines also apart from linguistics, and then we come to conclusion. So everything is calculated. So I don't know whether I have the time to go for speaker identification and voice identification in detail. Otherwise would have shown you the steps, because we need to follow certain protocols. Then we go for case organization. These are the things that you have to keep in mind before you move ahead with a case. So anyway, if
Thank you, Abhinavji. Actually, I know that forensic linguistics is a very vast field, and you have so much of experience that you can show us lots of things, and you can tell us many things. But we have time limitation. So now I would request the participants, if they have any questions and they want to ask, kindly unmute yourself and ask the question. And Abhinav ji, please आप अपना screen share बंद कर दीजिए so that participants.
right, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. We are waiting for your questions, participants. Any query, any suggestion? आप लोग कुछ भी पूछना चाहते हो किसी भी माध्यम में, अभिनव जी बायलिंगुअल स्पीकर है, और मुझे तो लगता है he knows Bhojpuri also. He must be knowing Bhojpuri also.
I speak 12 languages.
Oh, wonderful. So he's a linguist and polyglot, both. हाँ, बताइए. Shafat, you want to ask something?
Yeah, ma'am.
हाँ.
Good evening,
अपना
sir.
वीडियो भी ऑन कर लीजिए so that we can see you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
हाँ. Yeah.
Sir, I have just a question regarding the forensic linguistic.
Mhm.
Sir, if someone has typewritten his suicide note, then how can we find that it's a real or a fake one?
This is good. At least this shows that you are paying attention, and you are definitely, that is what I was wanted to come on. What are the procedures that we go ahead? See, when we start, right now I'm speaking. You have just spoken. Ma'am is have just spoken before you. So we all have our own ways of speaking. We have our own registers, favorite register. Our phonology is different. Our morphology is different. That is why when you take a phone call, and on landline even, you better know that who is on the other side, right? Mostly if you have met the persons and if you are in contact with others, means you have certain sort of, suppose if your mother is there, then you don't say who is speaking, mother. You just say namaste, pranam, mom, ma, and all these things, and you indulge in conversation. So you have certain paralinguistics things. At the same time, you have your own idiolect, you have your own stylometric things, both in written, both in spoken, both in written and spoken. You have own favorite words. If I look at your you can say WhatsApp chat also, you just analyze your WhatsApp chat of 1 hour or 1 day, what you will find, the occurrence of your certain words are quite frequent and quite regular. So what we do, we first make a sociolinguistic profiling. Sociolinguistic profiling of your favorite words, right? Even we can decide the religion of a person on a piece of paper, right? So everything can, on the basis of sociolinguistic profiling, your everything will come, and through linguistic jargon, through registers, through everything. So all here handwriting expert here, or you can say the normal people fail. So we have to framework you through your profiling, through your speech. So first we do, starting from MLU, first we take average sentence, what is morpheme length utterance of your sentence. So what I will do, I'll take your 1 hour, I'll take your 1 hour as speech, and first the number of morphemes that you are using in each sentence divided by the number of sentence that you use, and I'll come to know that this is your morpheme length utterance with certain amount of the standard deviation. So if you fall in that category, you are the suspect, or you are out of the suspect range of suspects. So everything is your linguistic element, right?
Thank you, sir.
Abdul Muneem, I think he wants to ask something. Abdul, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, go ahead. पूछिए,
ma'am.
आप क्या पूछना चाहते हैं?
No, ma'am. I have no question.
Okay. I thought you want to ask something. So, any other questions? So,
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Dr. Govind.
Ma'am. Actually, I have a question. Can forensic linguistics help for identification of crime before it happens?
Yes. That is why forensic linguist and linguistics is in demand, because you have certain phone calls, certain wireless interception. The police is asking for the lead. Where can I find? Suppose if something happens at Varanasi, I belong to Varanasi. You, ma'am, belongs to Lucknow. So there is an you can say questionable threat call, right? So the call can be two things. One can be known calls. One can be anonymous call. So how to give the lead to the people, to the investigating agencies? So your speech is carrying everything, your phonology, your mother tongue influence, your definitely your mother tongue influence is much more important. So we are speaking Indian English rather than Indian English. We don't delete r sound. We do not suppose if a person belongs to Bihar, we have dialectology. They won't be saying vote, they will be saying vote. And they won't say papad, they will say papar. So people may laugh at all these things, but these are the things, how complex the language is. But when it comes out of our mouth, that comes in a systematic manner. So whenever there is there are features attached to it of your mother tongue, that is helpful for us. Even if I try to exclude my linguistic feature consciously, even I won't be able to do 101%. So definitely, demographically, you have certain kinds of people located in certain part of your city. So we just give the lead that this is the person, this is the mother tongue, linguistic mother tongue. What could be, because see that your language also depicts your social class, also religion, also everything. So this is something you pre-incidentally you can give it to the investigating agencies, and they definitely means, I have seen in so many cases the police personnel have got substantive lead from us.
सर एक्चुअली ये जो मेरा क्वेश्चन है, यहाँ एक मेरा होम सिटी में एक हुआ था एक इंसिडेंस जिसमें एक डॉक्टर का मर्डर हो गया था। वो जो क्रिमिनल जो है ना, वो एक्चुअली वो पेशेंट बन के उसके घर में गया था। मैं क्या पूछ रहा हूँ कि सपोज हमको पता चल सकता है कि ये एक्चुअली उसका जो वो लैंग्वेज से उसका जो मीन्स ये किसके लिए आया है, सपोज वो क्रिमिनल का मीन्स कुछ एटीट्यूड लेके आया है कि ओरिजिनली वो आया है कि उसको ट्रीटमेंट करने के लिए, वो चीज मैं पूछ रहा हूँ। सपोज वो पता चल जाएगा तो आइडेंटिफिकेशन हो जाएगा, तो फिर ये क्रिमिनल ये चीज सब नहीं होगा।
सर for everything we need linguistic evidence. The thing is we always follow Grice's maxims. We do not say whatever is beyond our limit. So we need linguistic evidence. If there is much linguistic evidence, and even a simple linguistic evidence we can work upon, but people generally, forensic linguistics seem to be very lucrative from outside, but when you work on it, you must have a good knowledge of theoretical and applied linguistics also. Only then you can work. And the very first day we say that do not go beyond your limit, that the linguistic limit, that is your limit. And you cannot make a decision, you can just give your systematic scientific opinion. So if there is linguistic opinion elements, evidence, we can work upon. Or if it is not, then that is not falling in our rhyme.
रमा जी कुछ पूछना चाहती हैं? रमा साहू, आपका हाथ दिखाई पड़ रहा है मुझे। सपना कश्यप, आपका भी हाथ दिखाई पड़ा था।
Ma'am, in chat we have got some question.
Yeah, one question is from Pooja. What is the role of forensic linguistics in cases such as Sushant Singh Rajput, where there is no suicide note?
See, ma'am, I have already made the things.
Yes.
I have in the social media where the media trial was there. So I was invited. So before going to that, I analyzed the case and I just read out what I had written. That may be her reply. बेशक सुशांत एक सेंसिटिव एवं इमोशनल व्यक्ति थे, पर वो एक सिंस इट वाज हिंदी मीडिया, सो वी आई हैड टू राइट इन हिंदी, एक हाईली एजुकेटेड पर्सन भी थे. यदि वो खुद से आत्महत्या करते तो ना सिर्फ अपने पीछे एक सुसाइड लेटर छोड़ जाते, अपितु बॉलीवुड की सच्चाई एवं उनमें संलिप्त व्यक्तियों का नाम भी होता. कुछ प्रश्न एक फोरेंसिक लिंग्विस्ट के: क्या ये हत्या को आत्महत्या रूपांतरित किया गया? क्या पॉइजनस एलिमेंट उनके बिस्रे या ब्लड सैंपल में मिला पोस्टमार्टम के दौरान? क्या वो हाईली इंटॉक्सिकेटेड थे मृत्यु से पहले? हाँ, these are the legitimate questions, and I had certain explanation of explanatory answer for this also. And the thing is, on the surface level, people might say that this is not, because you say somebody saying that if fan is such a short height, see, he cannot commit mistake, commit suicide and all these things. The thing is, there is a negligence of police in collecting evidence. What happens means, if the police or the forensic team is going with the vested mind, if you go with the vested mind and you need to disrupt, that is what happened in Arusi murder case also. So you need to collect the evidence in a scientific manner, everything. Even how come a person who is breaking the door and not having a look what is inside the thing is going on? If you remember the person who broke the lock, so he didn't see what happened inside. So when the CBI got involved, at that time there is not much evidence left in terms of Bisra. Even 20% of the Bisra was there. So there is substantive doubt. You can say that AIMS team has given this sort of this is suicide and all these things, but the question will remain the same. Same thing with the Sri Devi case. How come no brain hemorrhage, no heart attack, nothing, but she committed suicide? How come? This is accidental drowning. How come? Can I die in even 1 foot water in my bathtub? It's not. The thing is, how do you collect evidence and what are the scientific procedures that you take? That is important. So all these things have been ignored even in SSR case also. So whatever evidence has been left, people are working on that. Maybe, may not be.
मुझे लगता है हमको यहीं पे विराम देना पड़ेगा. वैसे तो ये डॉक्टर साहब ने इतनी इंटरेस्टिंग फील्ड है उनकी कि participants can go keep on going and asking things. So now I would like to invite Professor Sri Kumar to just wind up the session. Sri Kumar ji.
Yeah, that was an interesting talk, Abhinavji. It was quite informative, and you have been successful in trying to show how linguistics could be, exploited in order to solve criminal cases and also cases, several kinds of cases involving doubtful authorship, and so on and so on, So from a layman's point of view, it's quite interesting, and our participants have all eagerly, been attentive towards your lecture. They have lots of questions, but then due to the limitations of our time for this lecture, we are not able to involve everyone over here for question hour.
Still, I have not started the proper procedure for case investigation, because that requires rigorous workshop.
Yeah.
How to move ahead with
that
the
I
case.
do. Yeah, I do understand it's quite a vast field, and there are lots of actually you are only able to show what it is and how you can go about it.
Yes.
And why you need to do adopt certain ways of going about the investigations and so on using linguistic evidence. So to that extent, we have all gathered some kind of preliminary understanding of the subject. So we are all very thankful to you for having opened our eyes to this new field. Of course, it's not that new field, in fact, but then people are now, getting more attracted towards the field, and principally in our own country, people are, you are able to get new people interested in this field, and in time to come, it may be flourishing in our country too.
Definitely,
So we are extremely thankful to you for this interesting lecture. And we are also thankful to all the participants who have joined us from across the country. I can see Professor Rajneesh Arora, Professor Kunyamma, and Dr. Govinda, Govinda, and so on, right? Some of the senior scholars have also joined here. We expect all of you to join us tomorrow for another interesting lecture by Dr.
Chaitra.
Dr. Chaitra Puttaswamy. She will be talking about language attitude, language maintenance among the Jena Kurumbas. So join us for tomorrow's lecture. So it is thank you from me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Abhinav ji.
Thank you.
बहुत शुक्रिया
Thank you, sir.
आपका.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.
Namaskar, Shri Kumar ji.
Namaste.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Namaste, Govinda ji.
Namaskar, ma'am.